All right, if we look at number 7 for the level 2 breakout, we see an equation here with fractions. It's having us distribute a fraction. So I can distribute or I can divide. So if I distribute, we have 4 times 1, the numerators, over 5 times 3, which is 15, n. So remember, when you multiply fractions, you just multiply across. 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 3 is 15. And then do the same thing for the bottom, 4 times over 5th times 2 times 3rd. Do the numerator 4 times 2, which is 8, and then the denominator 5 times 3 is 15. So that would be plus 8 over 15. And that's going to equal 1 and 1/3, but I'm going to write it as a mixed number, or as an improper number. So I'm just going to go like that. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 over 30. So that's how that is, okay? Now, I notice that I can either subtract 8 over 15 to the both sides, or I can get rid of my fractions completely. So if I subtract 8 over from that to the other side, we have to make common denominators, which gets really crazy. I personally would try to get rid of my denominator completely first. We notice that all of them have a number that's a multiple. The LCM of these three numbers would be 15, and then I can cancel out my fractions. But if we just keep doing what we've been doing in class, I can subtract both sides by 8/15. And then if I want to, I have 4. I'm going to erase this top part up here. We have 4 over 3 minus 8 over 15. Common denominator between 3 and 15. I know 15 gets broken to 5 times 3. So I can make this 15 over 15. Make that just 15s, right? And then I have to change 3 to a 15, so that means I multiply 3 by 5. So I have to multiply the top by 5. 4 times 5 is 20, right? So now I have common denominators of 15. And in order to simplify this, I just subtract 20 minus 8, which is 12, okay? So I can bring that down to have my equation, my equal equation. I forgot to carry that 15. So now I have 4/15 n equals 12/15. Oh, this is a lot of munchkins, right? So now what we got to do is get rid of 4/15 because it's multiplied by n. So to get rid of multiplication, we actually divide by 4/15. Now that would be super crazy complex. So what we're going to do is multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 4/15. So if I just move this, the reciprocal of 4/15 is 15 over 4, right? I just flip it. So to get rid of 4 over 15, I multiply by the reciprocal. Because 15 and 15 will cancel out because 15 divided by 15 is 1, right? And then 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we just have 1n. So n equals, and now I'm going to multiply this 12/15 by 15 over 4, because that's the reciprocal. And simplify. 15 divided by 15 cancel out to 1. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. So it's 3 over 1. So my answer is just 3. Okay, that was the hard way to solve it by doing it the other way. The other way would be to get rid of my fraction completely. So if I look at this step right here, we have 4 over 15n plus 8 over 15 equals 4 over 3. If I multiply the entire equation by 15 right away, then and distribute it, that would get rid of the fractions, because 15 divided by 15, that would be 15 cancels out, right? So that would just be 4n plus the 15s would cancel out, so it'd just be 8 equals this 15 right here. 15 over 3 actually does not cancel out, but it can simplify to 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I'd actually have to multiply this 4 by 5 and get 20. So then if I do it this way, I can just subtract 8 and get 12, and then subtract 4 to both sides, and we'd get 3 as well. All right. I would not recommend that you change these fractions to decimals because some are repeating decimals, so then your answer will be an approximation. But with multiplying fractions, you just multiply across. And for adding or subtracting, you need a common denominator, like we did here with these 15. All right, that one was a really hard problem, but that was number 7 on the level 2 for the breakout.